Source Meme Years. My grandfather turned 89. What is a good present for a man of his age? It was my uncle's idea to give him a model of a Skymaster, one of the planes that were used during the Berlin Airlift. And it was up to me to build one of these planes, and honestly, it took forever. But in the end, it was worth it. First, I thought my grandfather would look at the plane just once and dismiss it as child's toy. But quite the contrary. He knew the plane and recognized it immediately. 70 years ago, he had worked loading the planes for the Berlin Airlift. There's even a picture of him on the airfield. The Berlin blockade of 1948 followed the introduction of the Deutsche Mark in what was later known as West Germany. This sparked the first major Cold War crisis. Stalin closed all ways into Berlin, all railways, all roads, even channels. But luckily, there was via treaty to the Allies a safe passage that had been assigned to them via air that could be used. And the Americans and the rest of the non-Soviet allies had the guts to attempt something that had never worked until then: to supply roughly 2 million people via air. In hindsight, it was a great success. But at the time, it was a great gamble. Only 5 years earlier, attempts to supply the 6th Wehrmacht Army at Stalingrad via air failed spectacularly. This was very much present in the minds of the Germans. With this knowledge, it is even more impressive that the Americans attempted this. This was an unparalleled display of American military and industrial might. When Trump invokes the spirits of "Let's make America great again," it is unclear what he refers to. But I personally hope he refers to the spirit of everything is possible. When the Allied forces attempted the never-before-done supply of a city with 1 million inhabitants via air. In doing so, demonstrating to the world that democracy was the best solution, better than fascism or communism. The Berlin Airlift was a small piece of the miracle of turning German Nazis into democratic allies, and ultimately winning the Cold War. The planes of the Berlin Airlift are referred to as Rosinenbomber, raisin bomber. This is a fitting name, for Allied planes 3 years earlier had laid Berlin to rubble. And now Allied planes delivered the much needed supplies. Even further, airlift pilot Gail Halvorsen had pioneered the idea of throwing candy off the planes, coining the term amongst the Berlin children candy bomber or raisin bomber. I ask you in all honesty, in 70 years, will a grandchild of an Iraqi or Afghan build a model of an American plane, commemorating his grandfather taking part in world history? And if so, will it be a favorable commemoration of the efforts of the West? What is a cause that today would unite the Western world, changing the world for the better? With the Berlin Airlift, the Western world went into the Cold War with a clear vision of freedom that allowed it to ultimately win the Cold War. What is our shared vision of the future today, I ask you? If you liked it, click like. If you want more of it, hit subscribe. Until next time, adios.